हा येतोय आवाज येतोय. बरोबर आहे. एवढं अजून ठीक आहे. एवढं अजून ठीक आहे का बघ. नाव घेऊन बोल, कोणाला बोलतोय काय? ओके. On है बरोबर आहे ना
Hello and welcome to the I League 2. We're over halfway, or rather half an hour through this matchup on the Indian Football YouTube channel. Match number 7 between GMSC and United Sports Club from Cooperage Stadium here in Mumbai. And it's still 0-0 through difficulties, but we're back on track here. It's been a fairly even game so far, but still looking for the first goal this afternoon. A bit of a trip there. And we'll head into the cooling break as that call was made by Umesh. This will be a break where the coaches get a bit of time and can reassess what has taken place in the last 30 minutes or so. But GMSC coming into this one on the back of a roller coaster. The game of the I League 2 so far. They were down 2-0 to Sporting Club Bengaluru, and then they got a couple back. It was 2-2. Then Sporting Club took the lead again, and thanks to Ashish's 91st minute equalizer, they finished 3-3. So got a point out of almost nothing there. And United Sports Club coming into this one, the only team to win a game in match week 1 as they beat Sporting Club de Goa by 1-0. Amil scoring. So this is a big game for United. If they can win this, then 2 out of 2 will be a great start to the campaign. Quick word there from the coaches, and looks like we're all set to go. Back at Cooperage Stadium, where we've had some iconic clashes over the years in the National Football League, in the I League. Now I League 2 is where the teams battle it out. So around 15 minutes to play in this first half, still looking for our first goal. MRJ GMSC in their white strip, United Sports Club in their famous purple. Play down towards the left-hand side. There was an option to play it early there. There's Lewis. Good delivery. Straight back at him. Lovely nutmeg on the left foot this time. An even better delivery with a bit of whip on it, but cleared away. Dean Lewis, with all his experience, was trying to pick a lock, but good defensive work. There they go again. Maybe a chance to shoot. It was always bobbling up. And Dion Menez is trying to strike that, but not being able to keep it low. It'll be interesting to see where they try and get that goal from both sides, actually. Kiran and Arvind Raj, the scorers in the first game for GMSC, to get them back on level terms. And then Ashish with that 91st minute equalizer. Great moment for them to pick up their first points of the campaign. First point, rather. Team does well, almost wins it back, but then United with the ball. There's Craig. Quite a bit of traffic there, but still tries to move through. Good defensive work by Lewis. It will be a throw. Might just see a long throw taking place. Not really, but long throws have been coming into fashion once again in world football, and of course in Indian football. I don't think it ever stopped. Last few years of the I League, now the Indian Football League, we've had quite a few long throw specialists, and teams just put the ball into the box and cause chaos, cause havoc. It's always been that way. We went out of the European game and the world game for a while, but now it's well and truly back. Bit of possession now for United. That's a bit of a push, unnecessary, coming in from Tanmay. It was pretty blatant as well. Just shrugging Joseph Silo off the ball with his hands nonetheless. And Lewis lets it run. First goal will be very important. Yesterday I called a 0-0 draw in the Bengaluru derby. Had quite a few draws already in this I League 2 campaign. Here's a chance maybe for United. Opportunity down the right hand side. It was a good run from Craig, but couldn't be found by George. And now GMSC try to expand a bit, especially down the right hand side. Cross comes in, there's no one home. That should have been slightly better coordinated. Possession once again for United, who have a lot of space in the midfield. GMSC is sitting back as much as they can, letting the opponents come to them. That too in a home game. It's not often you see that. Down to the right, Amit. Again, acres of space. Played wide for Craig. Amit has an underlapping run. Doesn't choose him though. Craig holds on to it. Back to the skipper, Onkon. Very comfortable in possession, the United boys. And here they go again, rotating it beautifully. Are United, but GMSC just keeping their shape, not really chasing after the ball too much. Yes, of course, they would love to win it back if they can. And eventually, GMSC do win it back only for the time being. It's back to United. We'll go towards that right wing. There's Craig, cuts inside, dinks the ball in, cleared away. Could have maybe taken one more touch towards goal, I feel. Oh, that's an awkward one, a bit of a mistake, and now it opens up for GMSC. Advait and Arvind. Chance to cross as well. Advait is there, goes for the big stretch, but just couldn't get on the end of it. Himanshu Patil, who put the ball through. And definitely, they need to be calmed down there by the referee, the United players, but definitely a good chance for GMSC out of nothing. They were just sitting back and holding on for the last 5 minutes. And suddenly, a bit of a loose touch, a bobble, a bounce. And Advait latched onto it, but couldn't do the same when the ball was played into the box towards him. Just goes to show against the run of play as well, anything can happen. Nice work there from Kiran. Keeps going and then has to move backwards. That's the shape I was talking about from a GMSC point of view. Having conceded three in the first game, they would love to keep a clean sheet. But here's Craig, who'd love to do something else towards the second post. It's missed, but should be collected. Another cross. Shouts for handball, won't get it. And Tanmay retrieves after Joseph's cross was blocked. Nice ball there from Arvind. Good turn from Advait, but then it was nicked off it. Here come United again. This game is brewing nicely. Shot is taken. It's blocked. Sumesh Shom going first time, and here comes Keen Lewis on the counter. Opportunity maybe to cut inside and take a shot. He does, and then he shoots at Keen Lewis. Straight into the hands of the keeper. Easy collection for Suraj Ali, but when Keen Lewis is running at you with his buckets of experience and his ability to strike a ball from a distance, you've got to be slightly wary as a defender. Of course, he's had a fantastic career, has Lewis. To come back to that, here's United now. Chance to shoot. This one off target from George Com. So Keen Lewis, of course, who started his football career, or rather, he was born in Thane in Maharashtra. And has played for quite a few of the top names in Indian football, including Mohun Bagan, Bengaluru, Pune City, Mohammedan Sporting, and a bit of time at the then round last Punjab, Sudewa Delhi as well, Pune City. And also had a stint in Mexico and the United States. Looking for Lewis on that occasion, couldn't get that. He's also a UEFA C licensed coach. So a lot of experience brought to the table has come to the GMSC side from the Kannur Warriors, where he won the Kerala Super League. Here he is again. Nice ball down the corner. This game is growing quite nicely. Unfortunately, we'll have a bit of a stoppage because of half time. But before that, let's see if anybody can break the deadlock. Here they come again. Cross towards the second post. That's a poor ball after all of that. Decent spells of possession for both sides. Just before the break, how they would love to get a lead heading into halftime. Cleared away by United. Awkward one, very well flicked there by Sumesh Home. Now another ball into the channel to chase. Headed away well by Umesh. But now it's United once again down the left hand side with a bit of space. Should be the goal. Oh, what a stop that is! Absolutely a last ditch block. I think it was from Dion Menezes who tracked back, and that should have been finished by Craig. What more would you want from a chance? Hit across the face of goal, and that's a huge opportunity for United Sports Club. And truth be told, it should be 1-0. What a block from Dion, though. There were a couple of players plus the goalkeeper. It was Dion who got the final touch. Here come United again. Header into a decent area. And almost flicked on by Craig once again. A couple of chances for him. In a couple of minutes' time, actually. Grand opportunity. Now looks like a bit of an issue for Paramjeet. A bit of cramp setting in as well in yesterday's Bengaluru derby. Looks like he's fine now. Now the ball over the top now for GMSC. Well defended though by Onkon. And Craig comes back. Needs to get it away. No, in fact, makes it a better angle, but the clearance isn't the best. Chance to shoot, maybe it was on the bounce there for Advait, but he decided not to go for it. A bit of a push, no foul, says the ref. And maybe United can pounce here on the counter. Craig is also moving towards the right hand side. That's a poor pass. It should have been slightly earlier from the likes of Sumer, who's been good in the last few minutes. Space to turn now. And maybe to shoot. No, it's played towards Craig. A bit too long for him, even with his pace, and that'll be the end of that move. It's that point in the game where you really don't want to concede before halftime. Of course, you don't want to concede at all in the game, but teams just tighten up a little bit more as halftime approaches. Another game taking place today, Naroka versus Sporting Club de Goa, where Sporting Club de Goa have won by a goal to nil. That is a huge result for them, especially having lost, or rather being the first team having lost a game in the game week last time round at the hands of United. That's a handball, perhaps. No, not given. United very comfortable in possession. They like this. They like to build with the ball. But that'll be half time. They won't have enough to brew an attack from that particular phase of play. But speaking of phases of play, the last 15 minutes was quite an enjoyable one, and hopefully the second half can bring more of the same. But for now, at Cooperage Stadium, we haven't seen a goal as MIJ, GMSC, and United Sports Club are all square at the break. And stay tuned because we'll be back soon with the second half. Welcome back to second half action. It's still 0-0 between GMSC and United Sports Club. We're in Mumbai and Cooperage Stadium. Lots to play for in the I League 2 campaign. The 25-26 season well and truly underway, and we just had a dramatic last minute winner for Sporting Club de Goa as Joyce and Gonkar scored an absolute worldie to get the win over Neroka, and an away win for Sporting Club to Goa to get their first points of the season. United Sports Club already got their first points with with 3 points with a 1-0 win over Sporting Club de Goa. Amal getting the goal. And GMSC, on the other hand, somehow fought back a couple of times and got a 3-3 draw versus Sporting Club Bengaluru. So they are on 1 point. And for United, of course, any sort of points here would keep them at the top. But it's such an open league. Anybody, absolutely anybody, can come from behind, even if you haven't had a good start in the first two games. But it's very important to get there early as we kick off the second half here at Cooperage. Bit of a block, not the best of long balls attempted there by United. This one is a lot better. Taken down nicely, but couldn't find a teammate there. Did Sumeshom. They did that pretty nicely, actually. Bit of an awkward touch there, and possession given away very cheaply. Here's United. Another awkward pass, but kept in play. Bit of a tussle there, and foul given by the ref. Not much in it, but enough to grant a free kick for United, who can put something into the area here. They finished sixth last season in the I League 2 with 21 points. They would love to get a few more. Here they go. Decent ball in, headed away by the white shirts. We saw a great chance for Craig. Just before half time, they should have taken the lead, United, but credit must be given to Dion for a wonderful bit of defending. Down the left now, come United. Defending in numbers here. GMSC not allowing too many passes through the center. That's a good ball towards the right here. Chance to shoot. It's over the top. That should have been better. They're creating slowly but surely here, United. GMSC under a bit of pressure, I would say, because not having too much of the ball always results in you thinking twice when you do have it, and then you start losing the ball. I won't say possession is key, but it's definitely something that gives you a lot of confidence. And the lack of it will result in a bit of underconfidence as well. But each team has their own style, of course. Played backwards there by Joseph. Onkon. A decent flick through. Oh, that's a great challenge. Fantastic stuff from Kiran Pandhare to win back possession. That's the sort of tackles you want to see from your centre midfielders. And Dipesh Murmu, who cut inside, the substitute, thought that he had a bit of space opening up, but no. Kiran with one of the tackles of the game so far. One thing is for sure that GMSC pride themselves on defensive work, and they do like to make challenges. They do like to make those blocks. Saw that already from Dion stopping a sure shot goal. But here's a chance again for United. Opportunity to shoot, maybe. Oh, it's not taking it there. Mohammad Amil, who scored in that game versus Sporting Club de Goa, made a run from the left hand side from the second post. But this time round from the center, I think should have just let it launch. Trying to be a little intricate there. Here's another opportunity for United. This time the shot is taken, blocked by the white shirt. Nicely taken down. But I think there was a handball involved. It's a good flow to this game so far. Sometimes you do have a bit of a stop-start to it. Yesterday called the Bengaluru Derby. It didn't really have too much of a zip in it, but this one does. Here's Arvind. Nice dink over the top. Doesn't really find a teammate. Now it could fall. I thought it would. To one of the GMSC players, but not to be. GMSC actually getting their opportunity to play this I League 2 thanks to their performance in the I League 3 a couple of years ago, where they finished third in their final group. Put themselves a chance in this one. Quite an interesting format. Not the best of falls, but it does fall to Dipesh again, who might want to cut inside. He does cut inside and almost pulls off exactly what Joyner did. Sorry, Joyson did for Sporting Club de Goa just a few moments ago in their game versus Naroka. This time the angle not really opening up for Dipesh, but this is good from him. Got to play positive football, especially if you're a winger coming in and trying to cement your spot in the side as a starter. Didn't start this game, of course. And speaking of coming off the bench, Ashish Lalge, who scored that goal to get the equalizer and the 1 point for GMSC, is on the bench, so we might see him come on soon. Great ball over the top. Of course, GMSC do play their football in Mumbai Premier League, in Maharashtra State League as well. I'll come back to that. Here's United, ball through. Could be offside, should be offside. Flag was raised a bit late, but Dipesh was surely off as George tried to find him. And United Sports Club play their local league in the Calcutta Football League in West Bengal. And are quite an old club under different aliases over the years. Like many of the Calcutta clubs, have a rich history. You can trace their heritage back to the 1920s as well, in different forms. On the other hand, GMSC or MYJ GMSC, who, as you can see, have basically come together in the last few years. And they have also been doing really well, of course, to get themselves into this I League 2. And now it's about taking that next step, which is the toughest, I would say. Of course, if you get promoted here, you play the Indian Football League, which is rebranded now as the I League. And now, if you win that, or if you get promoted from that, then you go into the Indian Super League. So, definitely a lot to play for. Always has been in the pyramid system. But you just get the feeling that since the I League 3 was introduced, then you get that one step closer to playing these national leagues. And if you are the top team in your state, or one of the few top teams in your state, then you do get the chance to represent your state or your club at this national league level. Here's a chance now for United. Opportunity to set it up, and it just doesn't fall that kindly for the likes of George Combe. There were three white shirts around him, and that's why he was slightly tentative to pull the trigger. And now the referee pulls it back to one of those occasions where the United players went down. I think it was Joseph Salo, who has stayed down for a bit and won't take the treatment. Looks to just walk it off or shrug it off. A change on the cards by the looks of it for GMSC. Just try to clock who it is, but either way, bit of a shoulder challenge there, says the ref. Good interception. United still have it though. Could it fall to one of them? Oh, that is not the best of defending, but still United have it. Chance to cross again, headed, and just past the post before we could get a little too excited. And what's happened here? I'm not too sure what's happened here. Has the ref given something? Let's take another look. Has he pointed to the spot? I think he has. He's given a handball. And that is quite the call. The GMSC players can't believe it. United are celebrating. This is a big, big call from the official, Arvind Shikhar. But either way, of course, he's not going to change it. It is going to be a penalty for United Sports Club. Keeper taking his time here, Paramjeet. And it is going to be George Combe. Oops. Oh, that is uncalled for. Paramjeet playing the mind games here. It's all happening at Cooperage Stadium. A penalty granted to United Sports. Can they make the most of it? Paramjeet is finally ready by the looks of it. And it's Singte George Combe who steps up for United Sports Club. And hits the back of the net. And the side from Kolkata take the lead in Mumbai. Almost at the stroke of the hour mark, it is George Combe from the penalty spot that gives them the lead, which, well, you would say came out of quite a contentious penalty call. But you can understand what the referee was seeing. There was a header, there was a flared arm. Was there enough contact? Perhaps there was, that's why he gave it. But a cool penalty nonetheless from George Combe. No chance for Paramjeet. All the tactics, all the mind games didn't really work for him. And United, for the second time in the campaign, have a lead. And the first time of asking, they got the job done. They kept the clean sheet. They took the 3 points home. There's the goal scorer, Singte George Com. And this might just open up this game a little bit more. Of course, a goal was always going to do that, but the way it has been granted, form of a penalty to United, of course, they were playing a lot better as compared to their opponents. Offside. Another late call from the officials, but the right call nonetheless. Yeah, so GMSC might just be feeling a little hard done by with that penalty. Ball down the right hand side, or rather into the channel. Nicely flicked there by Sume, who's got a very good first touch about him. Plays like a proper number 9. Likes to flick it on, likes to head it past into that space. Another ball down the channel now. Bit of a push there from Arvind by the looks of it. That is superb work from Joseph Silo to get out of a bit of a spot of bother. And now United have found a bit of their mojo perhaps. Dipesh made a run. George Com just takes a touch and holds on to it. And now they just keep a bit of possession. Bit of an awkward touch there from Suraj Ali. Doesn't want to be giving any kind of presence towards the GMSC side, who need to fight from behind once again. They've done that in the past. We saw that in the last game. 2-0 down, then 2-all, then 3-2 down, then 3-all. Down to the right hand side. Shravan, not the best of balls there. And of course, doesn't really show too much of happiness with himself and the way he put that ball in. He has to do better next time round, of course. They've got to keep fighting here, GMSC. They've also got to keep their cool if they're not too happy with the calls. That'll be another foul and another free kick. A decent opportunity. Chance to cross once again. Not a great delivery. Again, they're asking for handball. And now it falls quite kindly to the GMSC boys. Down the right hand side, but should be easy pickings for the defense. It is. Played backwards by Ankon. And Suraj, not the best of clearances from him. Can they capitalize on a bit of a mistake here? Keen Lewis, who's keen to put the ball into the area. Chance for a flick. Keeper in no man's land. And Craig's touch comes in late, but I think the ball was still going away from goal. They're falling like skittles here. 3 players on the floor, all in 3 different colors. That was quite a clash. And luckily for Suraj Ali, he's made a couple of mistakes in a few seconds' time. First, he gave the ball away with a poor clearance, and then second time round came for a ball which wasn't really his, I feel. Not sure who got the final touch, but eventually it went to Craig. Ball was going away from goal, but he still put it away for a corner. And hopefully all the players involved are okay. Slowly but surely, they're getting up. And the GMSC side need to make the most of these chances, especially this corner. Put it into the area, make the keeper work. Keane Lewis is having a bit of a breather down towards that corner flag as he waits to put the ball into the box. With all his experience, I'm sure he will want to test the keeper, who's under a bit of pressure. Keane Lewis with the corner, that's a poor one. After all that, you expected a bit more from him. And now United can try and come back on the counter. Lewis does well to win back the ball. But it was via a foul, and in fact, it's going to be a yellow card for stopping the counter. So 20 minutes gone in this second half. It's all to play for still. United Sports Club have the lead. Keane Lewis in the book now. He's got to be careful. Of course, that was a bit of a tactical foul after his corner wasn't the best of deliveries. But United have a bit of energy to them, as do GMSC, which means that this calls for a good end to the game. Again, given away. Here's a chance for GMSC. A few purple shirts come around again. As he was thinking of taking the shot there, Himanshu almost flicked on towards Himanshu again. United need to clear. They have had quite a few poor touches. Arvind tries to win it back. He does. And he doesn't get it back from his teammate. Slightly sloppy again, and the clearance isn't the best. Arvind, who did spend time at Kenkre, and they were in the I League, played really well for them. Of course, a lot of switches from players. Where they play the league for, or maybe the local league for one team, and then they switch to another for the I League 2. Such is the window, such is the setup that you can actually, which means different opportunities, different leagues for different players. Already a bit of time wasting here from Suraj Ali. There's a long way to go. There's half of the second half still to go. But he's taking a bit of the sting out of the game. But here's a chance, and that was struck a little too high. They've got more chances in the last 10 minutes than they have throughout the game. GMSC. Himanshu Patil, who really impressed in that I League 3 campaign in 24-25, where he got 8 goals. Top goal scorer actually, with the likes of Narohari Shrestha and Kevisanyu Pisay. It's good company. And now it opens up nicely for United. That's not the best of passes. Needed to time that a little better. The weight of the pass should have been a bit more precise there from Mohammad Amil Naim, who in the final third just hasn't been at his best today, at least. Of course, scored that goal, the first of the season for United Sports Club in the I League 2. Speaking of top scorers, Tarak Hembram, Sahil Harijan, who have been really good for United over the years. Scored 6 goals in last season's I League 2 for United. Here's Keane Lewis. He's scored plenty over the years for different clubs he's played at. A bit of magic for him, from him maybe, could influence this game. Here's Lewis again. Decent delivery, headed away. First time of asking, second time a bit of a nudge. And the foul given. It was definitely the right call. And as I said, United already having one clean sheet and looking for their second. Last season they had sort of Samantha in between the sticks getting 4 of those clean sheets, but this time it's Suraj Ali who's taken that spot. Samantha is on the bench. Just 20 minutes now between United and pretty much staying at the top of the table. How they started the match week basically. Well, that's a long way to go. Awkward touch is there. Eventually it will be Keane Lewis to take the throw. That's a good one from him. Awkward bounce. Beautifully done there by Vicky Thapa, who's very good in those areas, just turning his opponents. Now Craig has the ball, a bit of space. Could open up here. Aimless ball actually, but now it could fall to the United player. Chance to shoot maybe. A turn, a shot. It's over the top. That should have hit the target. Mohammad Amil, as I said, just hasn't been at his signature best. Look at the way he turns. And once he's turned, you've got to hit the target from there. Shravan Shetty was beaten on the turn, and Amil needed to do better eventually. And what I thought was an innocuous ball eventually just turned out to just drop at his feet, and then of course he did well after that. But positive stuff. Can't be too critical because he did create something quite nicely there. Did Amil, and he's at the center of the moves that United are creating, which is always a positive. Possession given away, but then it will be pulled back. Another long ball, easy for the defense. Amil will pick it up. Craig does pretty well to get ahead on it. Amil has Craig if he wants to, but Amil might just run at the defense himself. It does stay with United Sports Club. And GMSC playing in the Mumbai Premier League as well. Have had a decent start to the season, unbeaten in the first phase. That's chested down, chance to shoot. And that is a very, very high shot, but it was because of a deflection, so it will be a corner for the side in purple, who are building the pressure and trying to take this game all the way. And rather away from GMSC. Bit of a stoppage here. I think Arvind has a bit of cramp. Get some help from the physio and he should be good to go. Time for a corner now. United. Flicked on. That was a really good header from Sumesh Home. Just putting it back into that danger area. And as I said, he gets to the first ball really well. That's what you want from a striker, from your number 9.
No, Yash. Pani, pani.
Arvind still on the sideline. They're still playing with 10. He should come on now. That's a decent ball through. But on this tough surface, it just gets away from you. Every time you think the ball is almost in your grasp, just pops off. And suddenly it's at the feet of your opponents. 15 minutes to go. Still keeping a bit of the ball here. GMSC, which is good for them. But can they capitalize? Can they create something? Maybe they could here. A chance to shoot. Down the right hand side. Opportunity. Patel. Oh, he squares it, but there's nobody home. Himanshu Patil with a great ball through, but nobody saw it coming. Here's Keen Lewis. Another ball. Missed by Suraj Ali on the first attempt, and on the second, he gets it back. Grand chance for GMSC. How many more do they need? And you can see the reaction of the substitutes in the background. That was a chance and a half. And of course, Suraj Ali will take this time to recuperate. And all the players will get a chance to recuperate. So just taking the time to get a bit of fluids on board, get some strategy from the coaches and also the physio, of course, who has been pretty busy in the last few moments. Very experienced bench, of course, from the United Sports Club. We've got the likes of Lal Kamal Bhaumik, who will be speaking to his lads, feeding them with all the experience possible. And then there's Vijit Shetty on the other side for GMSC. We'll be trying to motivate them and push them to get an equalizer for now and get back into the game. Here's Dipesh. Falls quite kindly here. Himanshu does well, but then the cross is in. Himanshu was defending on that occasion. Joseph was probably just a little too late in delaying that, or rather putting that ball into the box. It was delayed for sure. Now on the other hand, here's Keane. Dinks it. Good delivery. Keeper counts for it again. Another clatter. And it's been given United's way. Once again, Suraj Ali coming and trying to claim the ball, but hopefully another light one as compared to what we've seen in the past. Looks like it's Arif Sheikh who was involved. And these clashes are never good. He's holding his head and shoulder. That's good to see. They've both got up pretty quickly.
Second.
Suraj Ali needs to question the balls that he's coming out for, because he's not making the right call most of the time. And if he somehow doesn't get there in time and the opponent gets a flick before him, he could be in trouble. He's really feeling it now.
हम्म. एक सेकंड. बघ बरोबर आहे.
And this is quite a long stoppage.
हा बघ. हा ठीक आहे.
I don't think it's a head injury, but more of his chest or ribs. And hopefully it's not too serious, because Suraj will be wanting to finish this game off, but it's looking quite bleak for him. He's gone back down. And the stretcher's also coming on, so that's not the greatest sign either.
मेन शॉट भेटला होता.
I don't think it would be wise for him to continue if he can't. Maybe just needed a few more moments to get his breath back, and now he seems like he's good to go. So here we go. Suraj seems like he's better. Just needed a few more moments to get himself and his wits about him. Get himself ready for what will be quite a few balls into the area. The way they are putting the pressure on him and the defense, I think GMSC need to just keep doing the same. Especially when you get it to Keen Lewis, put the ball in the box, get Himanshu Patil in there, get a few bigger guys there, maybe even send a centre back in the next 5-10 minutes. Because it's working. United aren't being able to deal with it that well. There's Pratham. Goes backwards. Umesh. Nothing comes of that.
अरे तेवढीच आहे.
And a bit of a trip, and he's lost possession as well in the bargain. Amil. Here's Arvind. Towards the right, a bit of space opening up. Crosses not the best. And Shravan needed to do better from that right hand side.
शटर 425.
Good work there from George. Towards Dipesh. Acres of space down the left. That's a poor pass from Dipesh, but it could fall kindly here for United. And somehow it's been stopped. Sumesh Shom had that whole right post open. Slightly sloppy there from GMSC, but how has the ball not gone into the back of the net? There were a few bodies around, so maybe that's why somebody got a touch.
आता चेक कर.
Another awkward one. Sumay will go for it again. Does well to play towards George Com, whose goal is separating the teams for now. It's become a bit more scrappy here in the second half. Hindus plays it through first time. He's so comfortable on the ball. That's why he's been there, done it at the highest level, and still the longevity at 33, still looking nice and sharp. Six minutes and a bit more to play. Arvind looks for that cheeky ball through the center, doesn't really work. Sumaya with a bit of pressure, but he can't retrieve it. GMSC, I thought, would continue the move, but that's a poor pass. And somebody else has gone down. Kiran getting the treatment now. Early doors in the season, but seeing quite a few players maybe just not at that 100% match fitness just yet. It does happen to everybody. First few games, body takes a while to get used to the 90 minutes, the intensity. Bit of a loose ball. The defense was slightly lackluster there, but it's better now. There's a couple of challenges. Almost went to sleep there, the GMSC defense. Lewis plays it through for Himanshu, who plays it wide for Shravan. This is a good move from GMSC. Can they capitalize? Shravan Shetty's crossing hasn't been the best today, and he knows it. And as a right back, he's tucking in a bit too much. Could go on the overlap, could go outside. Of course, it is an overlap, but could take that outside line, which helps your crossing abilities, your angle that you create. From that sort of a range, it's not easy to put a ball in, to get it around the defender. A yellow card for someone, not too sure who it was. Could be Revon Sandas. Smashed long. The pace does well to get a touch on it. Collected by Joseph, who turns towards his own goal. Gets a touch from Himanshu. That is smart stuff from Joseph. He knew exactly what he was doing. And Himanshu will get a yellow card for it. Just turned and Himanshu tried to win the ball off him. Stepped on his foot. Don't know if that was a yellow though. Not much happening there. But either ways, he's in the book. There's Shom, who has been really impressive as a number 9. But here's a chance for Dipesh. What was that header about? He could have taken it on his chest and just smashed it. What an opportunity, and United will be ruining these if GMSC come out and get an equalizer, because they've had quite a few clear-cut chances which they haven't taken. Here's Dipesh. He'll continue the run, but it'll fall towards Joseph Silo. United could put this game to bed. Silo taking too long on this occasion. Needed to put the ball into the box earlier. Look at the amount of players who were there. 3, 4 of them. 90 seconds plus added time to go. There'll be a lot of added time, mind you. Here come United again. That's a decent ball through. This could be the chance to win it. Saved by the keeper. George Combe almost got a double there. But good positioning from Paramjeet. After his defender's offside trap didn't really work. Made himself nice and big, and it's not easy to chip someone like him. But Silo, and then now George having a couple of chances. Dipesh before that too. The list can go on. Chirag in the first half. Sorry, Craig in the first half, I beg your pardon. Here is Craig. Gets the ball back from George. Good flow to the game now to end it for United. But can they get that second goal? Here's Craig once again. Tries to put it into the area. That'll be a corner, which is good from United's point of view. As long as they keep the ball away from their own goal, they could see this game through. So 90 have been played. Into added time we go. Dipesh. Not the best of corners because Sumer would have to break his neck to put the ball into the back of the net from there. And how about this for a pass? What was that about? And Suraj has to let it go, and he will hold the ball and waste a bit of time. That is actually smart from him because he had to kill that time before Himanshu took the ball first. He will take a yellow card for it, which is the right call from the referee. But what was that pass back? I'm not sure what United Sports are thinking here. The game is not done. I think it was Silo who just casually took the ball backwards. He's doing that every time he gets it. But now Arvind is shaping up for a long throw. Can GMSC pull one back here? Decent throw, looking for the flick on. Lots of bodies in the box, but one of them gets it away. And then headed into space for George. Himanshu does well to get a touch, but he'll have to continue chasing George, who goes down the left-hand side. He's got Craig if he wants him behind. He does play Craig. Craig goes for the shot himself. And it's saved by Paramjeet. Although it was going wide, he still got a hand on it just in case. Quite an end-to-end finish to the game here. But it looks like United could just go over the line. There's still a bit of time to play. As I said, you want to keep the ball away from your own goal, but they went and played a really weird back pass before this. Here's Craig, another ball. Chipped over everybody else. Poor delivery. And now GMSC have a chance to get it back up the field. I think after a substitution. They need to smash it long. One more sub on the cards for United. But for now, GMSC will keep playing. Ashish Lalge is also on, who got the equalizer in the last game. Can he repeat the feat? I think coming off that one, United can move it forward. They've been really good down the left in terms of the pace, especially in the left midfield. A bit of urgency required here from GMSC. Another ball over the top. Suraj Ali takes it and will eat a few seconds up. Not too many actually. Smashes it long. Wanted to start off a bit of a counter there for Sumesh Om. 4 minutes gone. GMSC need to push. They're leaving it really late once again, just like the last game. But they wouldn't mind the same result. Again, Suraj has done this pretty well, to be honest. Knows exactly how to take the sting out of the game. Not taking too much time with the ball in his hands though, just clearing it as soon as he feels there's a chance. Doesn't want to take a risk and get another card for wasting time. Or even if you hold the ball for too long, 8 seconds, then it will be a corner to the opponent. So that's also a rule which has made the keepers release it early. Five played now. GMSC need to keep pushing. Lewis to Ashish. Back to Lewis. Ashish has made a run. Lewis goes for a bit of a Rabona pass just so that he can get the ball towards him. Doesn't really work out. Bit of a push there. They've got to be careful, United. They don't want to give a free kick away in any of those areas. Still waiting for that substitution, but the ball hasn't gone out of play yet. Hasn't been a stoppage. Craig just puts his boot through it, which is the correct thing to do at this point. There's Keane Lewis. Decent ball, chance to shoot maybe. And that'll be put out for a corner by Hong Kong, which means that there'll be a bit of tensions rising in the United Sports dugout. And George Combe has gone down because he just wants to take that momentum that was building away from MYJ GMSC. Or maybe he actually is cramping up by the looks of it. Either ways, it's time for Keane Lewis to try and produce something, as he's done in the past for many of his teams. Also, you all know United quite well. He played for Mohammedan Sporting in the Calcutta Football League a couple of seasons ago. Can he thwart United Sports Club's chances of getting back-to-back wins? Here we go. Keane Lewis with the delivery. Punched away very well by Suraj Ali. And then smashed away by one of the purple shirts. Kamran with the ball over the top, headed away. GMSC will keep trying. Dinked through, headed away by Hong Kong, who's been solid at the back. They're almost there, are United. Another ball over the top. They've almost gone into each other. Not the best of clearances. Suraj with the punch. And that'll be a high boot, and that'll be a free kick on the edge of the area. A really poor clearance. And then Ali couldn't do much but parried away. A bad challenge as well from Vicky Thapa, with his stud showing everywhere. And of course it's going to be Keane Lewis who's going to decide this one. Now that's a poor challenge. A bit of a slip as well from Thapa. Kamran got there at the right time. And it's a free kick in a beautiful position. What a way to end this game. 98 and a half minutes on the clock. United, who took the lead via a penalty, now have to defend this free kick with their lives. 5 in the wall plus a draft excluder. Keane Lewis standing over it, as is Dion Menezes, but it's going to be Lewis for sure. It's Keane Lewis, and it's over the top. And it could be to the top of the table for United Sports Club with that miss. Just didn't have enough on it to dip. Struck it too well, actually, did Keane Lewis. Not the precision we know him for usually, but he's had a good game. As has Suraj Ali, somehow he's kept his clean sheet intact. Just winding down the clock as much as they can there. Almost there, United Sports Club. And there you go. 2 clean sheets, 2 wins in 2, and 2 the top of the table. Go United Sports Club. In fact, when it comes to game week 1 and then game week 2, they stay at the top of the table. A goal from a spot kick from Singte George Com in the 58th minute, all that was needed to shrug aside a GMSC side who put everything into it. They created quite a few chances. They gave it everything here at the Cooperage Stadium, but they just couldn't recuperate from that goal that they conceded. It was slightly unlucky with that handball and the penalty. Suraj Ali did a good job eventually, as did his defense. They've got 2 clean sheets in a row. They've got 2 1-0 wins in a row, have United Sports Club. And at the end of a couple of rounds of the I-League 2, they are at the top. They're the only team to win 2 in 2. And it's been quite a good game to watch at Cooperage Stadium. The crowd appreciate the players and the effort they've put in. All the MYJ GMSC fans will be a little disappointed that they couldn't get the points out of this one, but at least they've put in a valiant effort. Just the 1 point out of 2 games for them though. But great scenes as the players meet each other, and a good game, a hard fought game, which was quite enjoyable for us to call. Takes a bit of time for the sun to set in Mumbai, but as it slowly gets darker, it's only getting brighter and better for United Sports Club. They win this one by 1-0 against MYJ GMSC, and United Sports Club now are at the top of the table of the I-League 2. So that is full time from us here. Thanks so much for watching. This is Liam signing off as United Sports win by 1-0.